Hello everyone, I am Dr. Dev Chaudhary and I welcome you all to this tutorial on generative AI for content summarization and explanation. Have you ever struggled to explain a topic or spent too much time trying to summarize a long text? As teachers and students, we know that making complex ideas simple is not always easy. But AI can help us do it faster and better. AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, DeepSeek, and Copilot can quickly shorten lengthy text and simplify difficult topics. If you have a long article or a textbook chapter, AI can extract the key points in seconds. If you need to explain a concept to different audiences, AI can adjust the explanation for children, students, or experts. In this session, I will show you how AI makes summarization and explanation easy. I will share practical tips and examples to help you use AI effectively in teaching and learning. Let us explore how AI can make education faster, clearer, and more engaging. By the end of this unit, you will understand the role of AI in simplifying summarization and explanation tasks in education. Learn how to write effective prompts for generating AI assisted summaries and explanations. Gain practical knowledge of drafting, refining, and personalizing summaries and explanations using AI. Explore ethical considerations and best practices for using AI in summarization and explanation. Let us consider one scenario. For example, you want to summarize the content of a research paper. So, let us discuss how we can summarize the content of a research paper. Suppose here, to search a research paper, I will use Google Scholar. I will click here. For example, I want to search a research paper on the topic generative AI in education. So here I will type generative AI in education. So here you can see that a large number of research papers are displaying. Suppose I will consider this research paper, Unlocking the Power of ChatGPT, a framework for applying generative AI in education. So already it is cited by 411 times. So here I will click, the PDF version will be displayed. I will download it. I will save it in, for example, in desktop. Now, let us summarize the content of this particular research paper using ChatGPT and DeepSeek. First, we will see the summarized content that will be generated by ChatGPT. So here I will upload files and more option. I will go here, upload from computer, desktop. This is the file. I will upload it, and here I will write a prompt like summarize the content of the research paper as attached. So I am giving a prompt, summarize the content of the research paper as attached. It is reading the document and ChatGPT is displaying the summary of the research paper. So here you can see that this research paper was a 12-page research paper. Lots of contents are there. Suppose you don't have time to read all the content, you want to just see the highlighting points of this particular research paper. So in that case, you can save your time by using the generative AI tools like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, or any other generative AI tools. So here you can see that though the pages were 12 pages, here ChatGPT is giving a summary of the research paper almost in a one-page content. So here, summary of the research paper title, Unlocking the Power of ChatGPT, a framework for applying generative AI in education. Here is the author name is given. Purpose, the study explores how AI chatbots like ChatGPT and GPT-4 can be used in education. It proposes a theoretical framework called IDEE to guide the integration of generative AI into teaching and learning. So, this is the summarized content, IDEE framework, key findings, then a conclusion is given. So, let us now see how DeepSeek responds. So, I will go to DeepSeek. Again, I will upload the research paper. Then again, I will type the same prompt. Summarize the content of the research paper as attached. Let us see. Now, the summarized content is generating by ChatGPT. No, sorry, DeepSeek. Here you can see the research paper title Unlocking the Power of ChatGPT, a framework for applying generative AI in education by the author name, explores the potential benefits and challenges of using ChatGPT and other generative AI technologies in educational settings. The authors propose a theoretical framework called IDEE to guide the integration of generative AI in education, which stands for, so key points, introduction, what is ChatGPT, limitations of ChatGPT, the IDEE framework, potential benefits of ChatGPT. So these contents are summarized from that particular research paper. So it is generating, it is taking time. Now I will stop this one. Suppose I will give another prompt. So this is ChatGPT. I will give another prompt to summarize the content in a different way. Suppose I will give summarize the content. I will type summarize the highlighting points in a tabular format. Summarize the highlighting points in a tabular format. Let us see. So ChatGPT is summarizing the content in a tabular format because we are giving that particular prompt. So here you can see, here is a tabular summary of the key points from the research paper. Aspects, key points. These are the headings. Purpose, explore the use of ChatGPT in education and introduces the IDE framework to guide its implementation. IDE framework key points are mentioned here. Potential benefits are mentioned, challenges and limitations are mentioned, future directions, conclusions. So in this way, if you are a teacher or you are a student, for your study, you can use generative AI to summarize the content of a particular research paper. It can save your time, and you can quickly review the content of a research paper. So in this way, you can try with some other examples. Let us now consider another example. Suppose we need to summarize the content of a book chapter. Suppose this is a book chapter, Introduction to Social Media. It is a 12-page content. Suppose I want to summarize the content within a limited text. So for that purpose, we can use a generative AI tool. Let us first summarize the book chapter with DeepSeek. So this is the book chapter. Suppose here I will type the prompt as summarize the content of the attached document within 500 words. So here you can give the prompt as per your requirements. So for example, to explain, I am just writing summarize the content of the attached document within 500 words. Now DeepSeek will read the attached document, the book chapter, and according to our prompt, it will summarize the content within 500 words. So it is generating. Here you can see that the content is summarized within 500 words. Here, this is the actual content. This is the actual book chapter. So it was a 12-page content, but with the help of generative AI tool like DeepSeek or ChatGPT, we can summarize the content as per our requirements. You can see here. So suppose we will again give another prompt. For example, summarize the content in a tabular format. So here, summarize the content in a tabular format, and DeepSeek is generating the summary of the book chapter in a tabular format. So here is a summary of the document in a tabular format. Section, key points, introduction, it is given. Key features, it is mentioned in the book chapter. Types of social media. So in this way, you can experiment with some other book chapters as per your requirement. Let us consider a scenario. Suppose you need to explain the concept of photosynthesis to a 10th grade biology class. So, for that purpose, we can use a prompt like explain the concept of photosynthesis to a 10th grade biology class using simple language and examples. So, ChatGPT will explain the concept of photosynthesis for a 10th grade biology class. And here, since we have mentioned simple language and examples, so accordingly, ChatGPT is generating the concept of photosynthesis in a very easy and simple languages. So here you can see that what is photosynthesis, how does it work, it is explaining the photosynthesis equation, why is photosynthesis important, a simple example, and conclusion. If you refine the prompt, suppose you need more, then you can refine your prompt like elaborate more. Then ChatGPT will explain more about photosynthesis. Here you can see that what do plants produce, chemical equations for photosynthesis, how does photosynthesis work step by step. Number one, light dependent reactions. Number two, light independent reactions. Why is photosynthesis is so important? So, real life examples of photosynthesis. So, since we have refined the prompt as elaborate more, so previously one examples were provided. Now, example 1, example 2, example 3, it is explained. So, in this way, you can use generative AI tool to explain a complex topic. Let us now consider another scenario. Suppose you need to explain the Pythagorean theorem to a high school mathematics class. So here, if I use DeepSeek, I can write a prompt like explain the Pythagorean theorem to a high school mathematics class, including the formula, a proof, a real world application. So let us see the output. DeepSeek is generating the output according to our prompt. So The prompt was explain the Pythagorean theorem to a high school mathematics class, including the formula, a proof, a real world application. So here you can see Pythagorean theorem, explanations, formula, proof, and real world applications. The formula a square plus b square equals c square. It is explaining a and b are the lengths of the legs, c is the length of the hypotenuse. Proof of the theorem, geometry it is explaining. Then real world application, it is explaining. In the end of the explanation, a summary is given. So in this way, you can explain, you can use generative AI, and you can explain the concept of mathematical formulas also for your. Now let us consider another example. Suppose you need to explain the causes and consequences of World War I to a history class. So for that purpose, if I use ChatGPT, then I can write a prompt like explain the causes and consequences of World War I to a history class, focusing on key events, political alliances, and the impact of global politics. You can see that ChatGPT is explaining the content according to the prompt we provided. Let us quickly review the content. The prompt was explain the causes and consequences of World War I to a history class, focusing on key events, political alliances, and the impact on global politics. So causes and consequences of World War I, it is explaining, already explained, causes of World War I, then key events of World War I, consequences of World War I, then a conclusion. Let us now consider another scenario. Suppose you need to explain the concept of blockchain technology to a business class. So, for that purpose, we can type a prompt like explain the concept of blockchain technology to a business class, focusing on its principle, applications, and potential impact on industries. Let us see the output. So here in this case, we are using DeepSeek. So DeepSeek is generating the output according to the prompt we provided already. Let us quickly review the generated output. So here, introduction to blockchain technology. It is explained. Core principles of blockchain, applications of blockchain in business, potential impact on industries, then conclusion. So in this way, you can explain any topic. It may be related to history, it may be related to technology, or it may be related to literature, or it may be related to any other field. So in this way, I request you to experiment with some other examples as per your requirements. While AI tools offer immense potential to streamline summarization and explanation tasks, they also come with ethical responsibilities and limitations. To ensure that AI generated content is effective, appropriate, and aligned with educational standards, it's crucial to follow these best practices and ethical guidelines. Number one, accuracy and misinformation. AI generated summaries and explanations should be fact checked to avoid spreading incorrect or misleading information. Number two, bias and fairness. AI tools may reflect biases in their training data. Users should review outputs critically to ensure fair and balanced information. Number three, attributes and plagiarism. AI generated content should not replace original work. Always cite sources and acknowledge AI assistance where necessary. Privacy and data security. Be cautious when inputting sensitive or personal data into AI tools to protect confidentiality. Over reliance on AI. AI should assist, not replace human judgment. Educators and students must verify AI generated content for credibility and appropriateness. Some best practices are review and edit outputs. AI generated summaries should be reviewed and edited and refined to align with educational objectives. Use AI as a learning aid. Encourage students to use AI for guidance, not as a substitute for critical thinking and original work. Customize for the audience. Adapt AI generated explanations to suit different learning levels and needs. Stay updated on AI limitations. Understand that AI is not perfect and its response should always be assessed for accuracy and relevance. Promote ethical use of AI in education. That means educators should guide students on responsible AI uses, including respecting intellectual property and verifying sources. Let us summarize what we have learned in this tutorial. AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot play a significant role in enhancing summarization and explanation by streamlining, drafting, and improving efficiency. Crafting specific and clear prompts is essential for generating effective and accurate AI generated summaries and explanations. Practical examples include various types of educational content such as research papers, book chapters, new articles, and complex concepts. Emphasizing ethical considerations and best practices is essential for ensuring the responsible and effective use of AI in summarization and explanation. Thank you for joining this session. We have seen how AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, DeepSeek, and Copilot can make summarization and explanation easier, saving time while ensuring clarity. With the right prompts and best practices, AI can be a powerful learning aid. But remember, AI should assist, not replace human thinking. Always review, refine, and use it responsibly. Now, it's your turn. Start exploring AI and see how it can be enhance your learning and teaching. Keep learning, stay curious, and make the most use of AI. See you in the next session.